Right now, on to the point. The city of Elk Grove is growing, but at what cost?
Traffic, yeah, that's horrible. You can't get used to that. And it's getting worse.
With new housing.
You're going to see smaller lots and everything being built close together.
Schools.
We have 60 more to build where we physically know where they're going to go.
And developments coming in.
We're essentially creating our own version of what a downtown urban space would look like.
What's being done about concerns in a community changing fast? Thank you for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. Once a small agricultural community, the city of Elk Grove continues to grow ever since its big boom in the early 2000s. Elk Grove is located about 15 miles south of Sacramento. The city first incorporated in the year 2000, and it just marked its 25th anniversary. In the Sacramento region, many might know Elk Grove for the Auto Mall, Sky River Casino, and its big July 4th fireworks. As for its growth, according to the latest census data, more than 176,000 people call Elk Grove home. That's a more than 15% increase from 2010, when the population was more than 153,000 people. And while real estate analysts believe Elk Grove home sales peaked during the pandemic, the city still remains one of Sacramento's top 5 hotspots. For residents, though, they say traffic is their number one concern. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen takes a closer look at growth and how the city is addressing those concerns.
For more than 2 decades, Elk Grove has been more than just a place to live for Jason Hamilton. When he and his wife started growing a family, they knew Elk Grove was the ideal community to call home.
Better school districts. Elk Grove does have a good school district, and we had kids in elementary school at the time, so we wanted to come out here. And also we like the culture. It's really diverse out here.
And life moved at a slower pace.
Traffic wasn't as bad at all. You can get from one side to the other probably in, I'd say, half the time that you can now.
But over the last 10 years, Jason,
If they send the offer,
a realtor by day, noticed a change.
At that point, then you had a lot of people from the Bay Area coming out here because it was, they could sell their house out there and come up here and pay cash.
With longtime Elk Grove residents seeing more of their neighbors coming from the Bay Area, it's brought more traffic, especially along major roadways like here along Elk Grove Boulevard and Laguna Boulevard.
The real-time video feed.
City officials say residents' top complaint is traffic. That's why the city's traffic engineering division is developing more tools to try and ease traffic concerns.
So we can monitor traffic signal congestion, and we can see, hey, if the signal or the congestion's backing up to Highway 99, we can take a look, hey, is something going on, what's wrong? We're able to flush traffic out of the way.
The city has 160 traffic signals and uses video detection to monitor traffic volumes. If there are issues with signals, the city is able to fix it in real time in this center.
The signals are timed in a coordinated, synchronized fashion to where you should get a progression of 5 or 6 green lights in a row, and that's all based on traffic volumes and time of day.
The city is working on a new system that will calculate traffic in real time rather than just during peak commute times. It's expected to roll out this fall.
That's where the video detection cameras come in, and they give us counts throughout the day, and then it says, hey, I only had 50 cars, I don't need as much green time, next time go around. So when another 50 cars come, it's going to use less time. And then if 60 cars show up, it'll give it a little bit more green time.
The city is also building a new interchange at White Lock Parkway.
So it's going to be a long process, but the city does have a project allocated for this, and we're still looking for funding opportunities.
While many longtime Elk Grove residents can't stand the traffic,
she doesn't want to play.
Former Bay Area resident Jonathan Lee says it's one of the main reasons he chose to move to the area 5 years ago.
I wanted something that I didn't want to sit in traffic a lot.
Jonathan says settling in was an easy transition.
So there's a lot of parks, lakes, and I'm very close to one of my favorite places, Tahoe.
Another major factor in leaving the pricey Bay Area was the high cost of housing. As a realtor, Jonathan often sees many people like himself relocating to Elk Grove for its affordability.
They could buy more house for almost half the price up in Elk Grove and Sacramento. They can get bigger houses, more land.
Housing analyst Ryan Lundquist says Elk Grove's growth peaked during the pandemic, with low interest rates and the promise of a great deal. While things have calmed down, Lundquist says Elk Grove remains a hot spot.
I think single family is the dominant force in Elk Grove, and so last year there were about 430 homes that were built, according to North State BIA data. They came in fourth in the region. Only Sacramento, Roseville, and Rancho Cordova were ahead of Elk Grove.
And now there is a specific part of the city that's seeing a majority of the new development.
Mostly 95757 zip code, and that's sort of the hotbed for new construction. But what you're going to see is a bunch of stucco. You're going to see smaller lots and everything being built close together. A lot of two-story units because those are less expensive to build typically.
As Elk Grove continues to change, newcomers like Jonathan say,
I feel like the opportunities at Elk Grove is continually going to grow.
While longtime residents like Jason believe,
We're here. We're not going anywhere for the near future. We have kids and grandkids tying us here, so we're here.
As Elk Grove expands, the demand for affordable housing is also growing. A recent lottery drew more than 13,000 applicants for just 700 available units. We spoke with the city's Housing and Public Services team to learn how they're working to meet this challenge.
Our affordable housing strategy at this point is largely to strategically acquire sites. So the city purchases sites when we see something that we think could make a good site for affordable housing or be, an innovative project.
The most recent projects include the Lila Apartments on Bruceville Road, a 294-unit complex, and the nearby Mosa Apartments offering 387 units.
Move-ins are underway at each of the properties.
The Pardas Apartments at Bighorn Boulevard and Terrick Drive. When finished in 2026, the complex will offer 236 units.
Within the last month, the City Council approved financing for 2 new projects on city-owned land.
One is an 89-unit senior housing development located in historic Old Town. The other is a larger 240-unit family housing project known as Sheldon Farms North.
That one is a really cool project because at least for the first phase of it, 25% of the units will be allocated to adults with intellectual and or developmental disabilities.
The city is also looking to expand housing options for moderate income levels.
We anticipate that we will be rolling out a down payment assistance program for moderate income households this summer.
As for homelessness, in November, Elk Grove opened its first year-round shelter at Calvary Christian Center, offering 30 beds a night.
We have been able to get a number of folks who are living outdoors in our community or in their vehicles into the shelter. A couple of them have moved on to housing.
The program, funded in part by Measure E, is looking to become a permanent year-round shelter. Community engagement around the shelter site, design, and location is expected this summer. And last year, the city settled with the state after violating housing laws by blocking a supportive housing project in 2022. That project would have created 67 units at 9252 Elk Grove Boulevard, but city council rejected it, citing zoning rules. The state disagreed, sued, and won. Coming up, Elk Grove School District is one of the largest in the state, and it's growing fast. How the district is trying to keep up with demand. Plus, new amenities are coming to the city. I go one-on-one with city leaders, asking about the big projects ahead.
What I can say is, in terms of Elk Grove, the future is bright. We are ready to turn a new chapter.
Welcome back to The Point. Elk Grove Unified School District, which includes the city of Elk Grove and outer lying areas, is growing. It's now the 4th largest district in California. ABC 10's Becca Habegger spoke with the superintendent about how the district is trying to keep up with the area's demands.
Any survey that people fill out and they say, why did you choose to come to Elk Grove? Number one answer almost every time is because of the schools.
Christopher Hoffman has been the superintendent of the Elk Grove Unified School District for more than a decade.
I can go back even further than that. So I went to the school district as a kid. When I was here, there were 2 high schools, and now there's 9 high schools.
He has seen the district grow to become now the 4th largest school district in California by student enrollment.
350 square miles and just over 64,000 kids total when you do all all programs, 68 schools that currently serve those kids. We actually encompass the city of Elk Grove completely, but all the new growth that's happening in the Rancho Cordova area, the Anatolia area, that's us as well. We have the south part of the city of Sacramento, and then all the unincorporated areas.
And with growth come challenges.
We have 60 more to build where we physically know where they're going to go. We're currently under construction with an elementary school in the Rancho Cordova area. Our next elementary school will be in our Casumnas Oaks high school region, and because we have a lot of growth in that southeast area of Elk Grove, so that'll be the next elementary school.
The superintendent says that also means creating new boundaries and even bus routes.
Trying to do transportation across 350 square miles is a huge transition and a challenge that we work through. Building schools too soon, economically unsustainable, but changing boundaries and or changing a school calendar, not convenient for families, but we use all of those tools, communicate with our families, and give our board the tools they need to be able to make the best decision we can.
But there are local dollars dedicated to helping build schools. In 2016, nearly 2/3 of voters passed Measure M. It needed 55% to pass, allowing the district to issue $476 million in bonds for repairing and modernizing classrooms and improving school security. And the district applies for matching funds from the state on qualifying projects.
We're still finishing up the use of Measure M.
Projects, including this construction at Kerr Middle, are funded with the last of Measure M funds. This past November, voters approved Measure N with almost 61% of the vote. It authorizes the district to issue up to $542 million in bonds and will fund the next 10 years of renovations and construction.
We anticipate selling the first set of bonds for Measure N will be in the spring of 26, because really it was designed for 2026 through 2036.
And there's plenty to do.
We expect we'll build at least 4 new schools in that 10-year period.
The district's updated facilities master plan details all the new construction and renovations on the district's priority list.
We actually went through and did a physical walk of every single school from roof to foundations, every single classroom, to identify what the needs were at each school.
Much of the work funded by Measure N, Hoffman will not personally oversee. The school board just approved his retirement.
We're talking about buildings a lot today, but the reality is it's the people in the buildings that make all the difference.
He'll continue serving as the board conducts its search for the next superintendent and help that person transition into the role.
It's an honor. The district was very good to me as a kid, and I taught here. My first teaching job was here, my first admin job. My kids did attend K-12, and so yeah, the district is a big part of who I am, and I'm doing everything in my power to give back a little bit of what I think I owe them.
Leaving his mark for the next generation of students and staff. In Elk Grove, Becca Hobiger, ABC 10.
Coming up, we sit down with Elk Grove's leaders asking about the plans underway for the future. And in our Champions of Hope, meet the Elk Grove woman creating safer spaces in police departments, why she says it needs to be done. Welcome back to The Point. We're in the city of Elk Grove, which is an area that's experiencing a lot of growth. So I spoke one-on-one with the mayor and the city manager about their plan for the city's future.
We want Elk Grove to be a great place for our residents to live, work, shop, and play.
Elk Grove is expanding with developments that are shaping the city's future.
It's an exciting time for our city. There's a lot of wonderful projects in the pipeline. Elk Grove is growing and we're moving forward, and we're very excited and hopeful for the future.
I know last time that we talked, you said that Project Elevate is really going to be the crown jewels. Talk to me about what that looks like.
We're essentially creating our own version of what a downtown urban space would look like. And so with that, you have mixed use, you have retail, you have commercial, you have a housing component, we're also looking at having a hotel.
Project Elevate is a 20-acre lot planned for the southeast corner of Elk Grove and Bighorn Boulevards.
Very walkable. It's right across the street from our District 56 with our community center. But Elk Grove was at a little bit of a disadvantage because we've only been a city for 25 years, right? And so it was built in the county, a lot of strip malls and just kind of frankly boring retail centers. And so we've worked really hard to try to elevate, that's the name, elevate our game when it comes to those opportunities for our community. And so we think this is going to put Elk Grove on the map.
Construction is expected to begin within the next year. The retail and hotel are projected to be completed by 2029. And right near Project Elevate is The Village, a more than 110,000 square foot shopping center set to open later this year. What's the vision there?
So another project we're really excited about that kind of improves, I think, the retail and restaurant offerings in our community. So it's going to be anchored by a Whole Foods, which we're excited about, the first in Elk Grove.
Also coming to the Village, a Yard House, Mendocino Farms, Phil's Coffee, and Shake Shack.
There's a few coming that have yet to be announced, so stay tuned.
A major project that was in the works, relocating the Sacramento Zoo to Elk Grove. But earlier this year, those plans ended. The zoo said it was due to reduced space and rising construction costs. What's going to happen with the space? What's on the table?
But what I can say is, in terms of Elk Grove, the future is bright. We are ready to turn a new chapter and hopefully maybe look at a new civic project that the entire community, the region can celebrate.
We're not going to rush into anything, right? We're going to take our time. We're going to do a lot of listening. It's a great piece of property, 100 acres, really, and an important part of our community. And so we're going to be very thoughtful and deliberate about what that might be. And so I wouldn't expect an announcement anytime soon.
Still in progress is Elk Grove's first ever hospital. Announced in 2020, the 30-acre Dignity Health facility is expected to bring in more than 1,200 full-time employees and 400 medical staff. Construction is ongoing, but the timeline has been delayed.
The approvals have already taken place. We're just anxiously awaiting for the groundbreaking ourselves.
Then there's the Valley Rail Sacramento extension that will connect passengers in the Sacramento region, San Joaquin Valley, and the Bay Area. The rail station is planned for Dwight Road and Laguna Boulevard.
It will help alleviate, say, traffic congestion, but also provide other alternatives to get to some of those amenities that are in the Bay Area as well.
So design is about 90% complete, so they expect to have the design done in the spring of 26 and then be out to bid next summer and potentially be under construction in late 26, and then if all goes well, then be finished by the end of 28.
Next at our Champions of Hope, meet the Golden State Killer survivor in Elk Grove, making safer spaces for other survivors of sexual assault. We know that in news, stories are filled with challenges and hardships, but incredible things are happening every day. So in Elk Grove's Champions of Hope, I want you to meet Chris Pedretti. Decades after surviving the Golden State Killer's horrific assault, she's now helping others reclaim their lives through a nonprofit dedicated to healing, hope, and helping others. It was December 18th, 1976. 15-year-old Chris Pedretti was home alone playing the piano.
As I was playing, I heard a noise, not a noise I recognized. And so I stopped playing.
Unaware, danger was already outside her door. It was Joseph James D'Angelo, the Golden State Killer. He began terrorizing Sacramento County in 1976, breaking into homes and lying in wait. D'Angelo would ambush girls as young as 13 years old, binding their hands, then raping them.
I lost my identity. I was no longer a child. I definitely was not an adult. I was very religious when this happened, and it took my faith away. And that is when my father told me, my sister, and my mom that we would never ever talk about that day again. And we never did, not until 42 years later when he was caught.
It took over 40 years to identify D'Angelo. The arrest came on April 24th, 2018. But during the trial, Chris also found friendship.
I met Phyllis. She was the first victim of the East Area Rapist, Golden State Killer, and we just clicked.
Phyllis and Chris would see justice served, with D'Angelo pleading guilty to 13 murders, nearly 50 rapes, and 13 counts of kidnapping. But just a couple months later, Phyllis passed away from cancer. Chris would go on to meet another survivor, Gay Hardwick. The two went on to start a nonprofit to empower sexual assault survivors through advocacy, education, and support on their path to healing.
And we named it Phyllis's Garden, after Phyllis. We developed a couple more programs. So one of the programs is our soft interview rooms, which we're sitting in right now.
This room in the Elk Grove Police Department transformed into a space so calming you might forget you're in a police station at all.
Our soft rooms are really made to have a pleasing environment.
With soft lighting, peaceful art, and toys, the soft interview rooms are designed to support survivors of violent crimes and sexual assault by creating a space that feels safe.
I hear this from the different detectives that I speak to, that their victims do a
this is so nice. And that is the first step of relieving some of that tension, to be able to share.
Phyllis's garden now has 9 soft interview rooms in local police departments.
I really wish we had this in 1976, but I'm glad we have it now.
And they plan to create more.
I began to heal, and I found my voice, something I thought I could never ever do. And I'm just going forward. Every day is a new day, and I'm really happy that I'm here and that I can be paying back, through the services that our nonprofit delivers.
And I want to personally thank Chris for sharing her story. And we know that there are so many more stories waiting to be told. So if you want us to come to your community next, or if there's something you think we should be looking into, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com. I'm Alex Bell. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And To The Point does not end here. To watch stories featured on our show, download our free ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app to your TV.